We spent 7 days in Sri Lanka with a local friend who showed us places no guidebook ever mentions. And what we discovered wasn't just a country, it was a completely different way of seeing travel. This is Sri Lanka Explained. Our other Sri Lanka videos have over 500,000 views, but this video is our comprised Sri Lanka travel guide, the best moments of all of those videos in one. And this is the video that everybody's been asking for to bring you the best Sri Lanka trip you could ever plan. And speaking of planning, we built a Sri Lanka travel guide with every single location, every link, and every resource we mentioned in this video. This intro wouldn't be the same without introducing Cheminda, our Sri Lankan friend who we met in Qatar. And he said, hey, if you go to Sri Lanka, let me know and I'll give you the most epic trip from a local's experience. Well, we took him up on that, and here's where he took us. Act 1, arrival and skipping the city. Cheminda's first rule was skip Colombo. Most travel guides tell you to spend a day or two in Colombo, but Cheminda told us to skip it, and for really good reason. We picked up our tuk-tuk rental there. More on that later in this video, but beyond that, he said go straight inland. This is where Sri Lanka really is. And so that's exactly what we did. And Cheminda's strategy was really simple. Action-packed adventure first and then relax on the beaches afterwards. And honestly, it was the best decision. Cheminda had us meeting him at a really epic hotel. Our first stop was Elephant Bay Hotel. It was about a 3-hour tuk-tuk ride from Colombo, which was an event of itself, our first time driving a tuk-tuk. Upon arriving to the small town that this hotel is within, there were elephants crossing the street from the sanctuary going to the river to bathe. So we checked in and then we realized why this was the first stop Cheminda had made for us. And here's what makes this place truly special. You can swim in the pool while watching the elephants bathe in the river just beyond the property. No crowds, no tour buses, just you, the pool, and the elephants living their best lives. And by the way, the Elephant Bay Hotel's booking link and contact info are in the travel guide, along with all the other places we stayed. And a quick note, across the street from the hotel is an elephant sanctuary where they love and take care of these animals. And then twice a day, they bring them out to the river for playtime and bathing. And that's when you can swim in the pool and see them. Our next stop was a little bit unexpected. So Cheminda invited us to his mother's house, a 1-hour tuk-tuk drive tucked into the hills of Sri Lanka. And getting off the road, it was a hike to his mother's house.
It's incredible that this is literally the way to get to your home.
His entire family built this house as Cheminda was growing up with their own hands. And we were the first foreigners to ever visit. Let that sink in. The entire family came together to prepare this incredibly lavish and completely local lunch for us. If I were to describe any of the dishes, I'd make a fool of myself, but just realize there was a slice of heaven, local treats, and a lot of love poured into this food. And nobody spoke English except Cheminda. But the connections, they were completely real. And a note about Sri Lankan hospitality. This kind of generosity, it's not unique to Cheminda's family. It's woven into the fabric of Sri Lanka itself. Sri Lankans don't just welcome tourists, they invite you into their world if you look for those opportunities. And the hospitality became the theme of the entire trip. Act 2, into the mountains. From there, Cheminda took us into the heart of Sri Lanka in the cooler, almost cold mountains of the country. Nuwara Eliya. They called this area and this town Little England because of its colonial history. It's cooler up here. Misty, the kind of place where you'd want to wrap yourself in a blanket and drink tea by a fireplace. And the tea? That's what this place is all about. This town had a lot to offer. Fantastic coffee shops, good local restaurants, a fun lake with a very communal, beautiful area where you can tell this was a local hotspot of gathering. And on the lake, there was boat trips and other activities. If you're really traveling the entire country and you want to experience some incredible hospitality and local vibes, this town is a must-see. The drive to get there on the tuk-tuk was out of this world, absolutely stunning, the entire way. And the hotel we stayed at is linked below and is also in the travel guide. It was a cute, comfortable place to stay, highly recommend. Driving through the tea country. Sri Lanka is one of the world's top tea producers, and Nuwara Eliya sits right in the heart of it. We didn't do a formal plantation tour. Instead, we drove our tuk-tuk through the endless fields of tea and honestly got lost a few times. At one point, we drove through a small workers' village tucked into the plantations. You would never be able to find this place on a map. We're taking a shortcut, but we're going through this just immense amount of tea fields. And it's pretty amazing. Just seeing all of these people, goats, baby goats, all kinds of stuff. But how hard they all work to hand pick all this tea here in Sri Lanka, because they don't use machines here in Sri Lanka, they hand pick it all. And it's pretty incredible to think about how much work goes into creating this tea here. Hello. Hello. It was such a special moment seeing the real backbone of Sri Lanka's tea industry, not through a tour guide lens, but just being there. We also spent time at the lake in Nuwara Eliya. It was quiet, it was beautiful, it's the kind of place where you just want to sit and breathe. Act 3, adventures and realities. Okay, let's talk about the tuk-tuk. This was Cheminda's idea. He said, if you really want to see Sri Lanka, you need to be on the road, not in a tour bus, in a tuk-tuk. So we rented one with tuk-tuk rental. The link is below and is also in the guide. It was the ultimate Sri Lanka adventure. But let's be honest about what that actually means. Here are some of the pros. You have total freedom. You can stop wherever you want, take back roads, explore at your own pace. It's hilarious at the same time. Locals love seeing foreigners in tuk-tuks. You'll get waves, smiles, thumbs up the whole entire way. And it's affordable, way cheaper than hiring a driver for the week. And lastly, the most important part is it was an incredibly fun adventure driving this little death metal box around. Today there was a big issue. There was like a fuel shortage today up here in the countryside of Sri Lanka. So hence we have a 5-liter bottle to fill up fuel in order to fill up our tuk-tuk so we don't run out of gas tomorrow before we get to a proper station. Yeah, so right now we're putting in the Sri Lankan Mountain Dew into the tuk-tuk. It makes it go up the hills.
Red Bull.
The Red Bull. And the cons, the roads are pretty chaotic, like truly chaotic. Buses will pass you at terrifying speeds, cows will wander into traffic, you will white-knuckle it more than once. It's physically exhausting. You're exposed to the sun, the rain, the wind, and by the end of the day, you could be pretty worn out just from driving. And safety is real. If you're not a confident driver, or if the idea of navigating narrow mountain roads in a 3-wheeled vehicle makes you nervous, maybe skip it. But for us, it was absolutely worth it, but it's definitely not for everyone. And just know what you're signing up for. A quick note, all the details on how to actually rent a tuk-tuk, get your Sri Lanka driver's license, and what company we used, that's all in the travel guide below. And that link is an affiliate link, so if you use it, you will be supporting us and our channel. Thank you. We didn't want to bore you with all the logistics in this video, like currencies, visas, just how to get around in general. But if you're seriously consider a trip to Sri Lanka, everything you need is in that guide. The secret waterfall. One afternoon, Cheminda pulled us aside. He said, I want to show you something, he said, but you wouldn't easily find it as a tourist or even on the map. He told us about a waterfall off the beaten path. There's not really any signs, there's no entrance fees, there's no crowds, just a hike through the jungle and a hidden pool at the end. And I'm totally gonna butcher this when I say it, but Bomburu Ella Waterfall. On the beautiful hike to this waterfall, we got there and I was absolutely blown away by the magnitude of this place. Crystal clear water, massive rock formations, the sound of the waterfall echoing off the cliffs. This is what happens when you travel with someone who actually lives there. You don't just see Sri Lanka, you see Cheminda's Sri Lanka. Sitting in front of this massive waterfall and the power that was coming out of it absolutely humbled me. It was breathtaking and it was beautiful. The exact location and trail info on this waterfall is in the guide, along with a few other hidden spots Cheminda showed us. Act 4, icons and the coast. No trip to Sri Lanka is complete without seeing Sigiriya rock. This massive rock fortress rises 200 meters out of the jungle, and climbing it is one of those bucket list moments.
So if you're not in the best shape of your life or not in decent shape, you probably won't want to come here because it is a lot of steps like these and even way more to get up to the top. So make sure you wear some good shoes and bring some water for sure when you come.
The views from the top are honestly absolutely unreal. Like this video and the drone shots, everything that you see online does not do it justice. It's also a UNESCO World Heritage Site with over 1,500 years of history, and you can feel it. Yes, there is an entrance fee for foreigners. Yes, it is a challenging climb, but it's worth every step. And one repeating theme in Sri Lanka, especially with the natural beauty there, is that everything you go to see is truly an adventure to get there and is incredibly rewarding once you arrive at the destination. There's no perfectly curated staircases or elevators to take you anywhere. It's earned and well appreciated. We did stop in Kandy for a day just to experience the city. Cheminda was really excited to show us, but Shanti was sick, so we didn't really get to experience all the temples and everything in that city, but those are well documented in other places and easy to find. After all the mountains and the adventures, we had to say goodbye to Cheminda. He had to fly back to Qatar so he can continue managing and running his restaurant, Boho Social, which if you're ever in Qatar, it is a must go to. So as he suggested, we made our way back to the coast to close out the trip. Sri Lanka's beaches are stunning, and depending on which coast you're on, the vibe is totally different. The southwest has more surf towns, beach clubs, and backpacker energy. The south coast is a little bit more quieter, more local, more laid back. So we spent our last few days just existing on the south coast, swimming in the ocean, eating fresh seafood, watching the sunset. We had no agenda, no checklist, just being completely present. And a quick note about the weather. Sri Lanka has 2 monsoon seasons, and they affect different parts of the island at different times. The southwest coast and the mountains, which are the most touristy areas, are best between December and April. That's the dry season, and it's perfect weather. The east coast is better from May to September. So depending on when you go and where you want to be, check the forecast. We went in August and we got a mix of sun and rain, but honestly, even the rain was beautiful and added positive moments to our trip. Here's a pro tip. The travel guide has a full breakdown of visa requirements, SIM card options, currency exchange, safety tips, and packing recommendations. All the stuff you actually need before you land. Sri Lanka isn't just another tropical destination. It is a country with deep culture, incredible resilience, and some of the warmest people we have ever met. And the best way to experience it? Just go with a light plan and leave plenty of room for exploration. And I want to give Cheminda a special thanks because he did not charge us anything for this. Actually, to the contrary, he treated us to lunch many times. And his hospitality and his generosity to show us around his beautiful country is so meaningful to us, and we have become very good friends because of it. Before you go, make sure to like and subscribe our channel and this video if you found value in it. We also have more videos from our time in Sri Lanka, including the full story of our tuk-tuk adventure, our time with Cheminda, and the breakdown, and more of our raw, authentic experience experiencing the country. All these little moments that we talked about, you can see it happen. So keep watching, keep exploring, and we'll see you next time. Happy trails.